Let's face it, no one wants to pay out of pocket to do their job. Yet across California, many employees spend their own money on gas, uniforms, tools, or even phone bills, often without full reimbursement. Here's the truth. If you're required to spend your own money to perform your work duties, your employer may be legally obligated to pay you back. In this video, I'll walk you through your legal rights under California law when it comes to expense reimbursement, what kinds of expenses qualify, and what you can do if your employer refuses to pay you back. California Labor Code. Section 2802 is very clear. Employers must reimburse employees for all necessary expenditures or losses incurred in the course of performing their job duties. This law isn't optional. It's designed to prevent workers from bearing the financial burden of business expenses, especially in roles where out-of-pocket costs can quickly add up. Common reimbursable expenses. So, what kinds of costs are employers legally required to cover? Here are some common examples. Mileage or travel expenses when using your personal vehicle for work. Cell phone use, if you're expected to answer calls or emails outside the office. Home internet for remote work or required after-hours communication. Tools or equipment if you're not provided the necessary supplies. Uniforms or safety gear required by the job. Training fees or certifications mandated by the employer. Meals and lodging for work-related travel. Even if your employer has a bring-your-own-device policy or claims certain costs are standard, you may still be entitled to reimbursement. Not every expense will qualify. For example, voluntary purchases not required for your job, personal upgrades or luxury items, unauthorized travel or entertainment. If you're not sure whether something is reimbursable, ask yourself, was this expense necessary for me to do my job? If the answer is yes, the law may support your claim. What if you're misclassified? Another issue to watch out for is misclassification. Some employers label workers as independent contractors when they should legally be employees. Why? Because they think it gets them off the hook for things like benefits, taxes, and yes, reimbursements. But misclassification doesn't erase your rights. If you're working under the control and direction of the company, you may still qualify as an employee under the law, and that means you may be entitled to full reimbursement. How to claim reimbursement? If you've paid for something work-related and haven't been reimbursed, follow these steps. 1. Document everything. Keep detailed records, including receipts, mileage logs, and any communication showing that the expense was work-related. 2. Submit a reimbursement request. Send your request in writing. Be professional and clear. Include itemized details and supporting documentation. 3. Follow up. If your request is ignored or delayed, follow up. Keep all communication documented. 4. Talk to HR or management. If your direct supervisor doesn't respond, escalate the issue internally. Some companies have specific policies or deadlines for processing claims. When to get legal help. If your employer continues to refuse reimbursement or retaliates against you for asking, it may be time to seek legal advice. You may have a valid claim for the following: expense reimbursement, labor code violations, interest on unpaid expenses, retaliation if adverse action followed your request, and if other employees are experiencing the same issue, it may even rise to the level of a class action. You shouldn't have to cover the cost of doing your job. California law is clear. If you spend your own money on work-related expenses, your employer must pay you back. If you're not getting reimbursed, or if you've been denied for asking, don't wait. Visit employeelawgroup.com to learn more about your rights and schedule a confidential consultation. You do the work. You deserve to be treated and compensated fairly.